Hey everyone, it is late at night and I am Norman. It is time, once again, for some watch news. So let us begin. So the first piece I have on my list is an article from Wrist Review, and this is about a Girard-Perregaux Laredo 42mm Infinite Gray watch. And you'll immediately notice that interesting looking dial on these. And what's crazy is those dials are ceramic. And given the case shape at 42mm, these are fairly large. Going through the article, I was introduced to a new word. The 42 by 10.68mm steel case is immediately recognizable to the seasoned eyes and sticks to Laredo's long-standing design grammar, striking a respectable balance between presence and restraint. Its layered silhouette is a combination of octagonal bezel atop a circular plinth. Plinth? What is a plinth? Let's look it up. So define P-L-I-N-T-H. The lowest member of a base, a block upon which the moldings of an architrave or trim are stopped at the bottom, usually a square block serving as a base broadly. A course of stones forming a continuous foundation or base course. Alright. Either someone has lots and lots of fun with the dictionary, or I'm ignorant. Or both. But I like the look of that dial, it looks crazy. And the design is very interesting with that round plinth. It almost makes the octagonal bezel look like it was stuck on after the fact. Or that you could maybe turn it. But yeah, I don't have seasoned eyes. I'm not familiar with the Laredo designs. But this one looks pretty interesting. The gray tone of the entire watch I thought looked pretty cool. And that's why I included it in tonight's video. These watches retail for nearly $18,000. Next up we have a line of watches that came to us from watchpro.com. And these are Bamford's Summer GMT 2025 collection. So there are 5 different colorways in this collection and they're all super bright and super happy looking. There's the blue and orange colorway, which looks really good on that blue strap. And this is probably my favorite colorway in this collection. With the orange on the bottom and blue on top, it's almost like you're on a beach with a blue sky above you, or hanging out in the desert with a blue sky above you. There's a pink colorway, where it's light pink and dark pink, and the light pink is very Barbie pink. There's a yellow and pink colorway, and this one's kind of fun, that bezel fades from yellow to pink, and this is a darker pink than the previous one. And I think the previous one has a bezel that fades as well from the lighter to darker. But it's kind of tough to tell, it might be just the photo. But the other one definitely has a color transition. There's a blue colorway and a green colorway. And I like the way they work the colors into the hands as well. I guess that isn't Barbie pink. That's flamingo pink. That's cool. These watches have 40mm cushion cases on them. They're 11.7mm thick, and they retail for a bit over $1,400. Well, British pounds. So a bit more than that in US dollars. But yeah, these watches are super fun and they do feel like summer. That's pretty cool. The next watches come to us from Fratello Watches. And these are the Resence Limited Art Watch Type 8 X Daniel Engelberg. So if you look at Daniel Engelberg's art, it's pretty fun. I love his use of circles, and that's what inspired these pieces. Circles in art are just cool. You can do interesting things with them. And I love what they did with the dials on these watches. So Reson's pieces are interesting anyway, but these ones add some color and some art to it. It's kind of like a high-end projects watch. The use of circles and colors are just super cool in these. I think my favorite is the blue variant versus the one with the red marker track around the edge of the dial. And they look crazy when they're on the wrist. So these watches have cases that are just under 43 millimeters and they're 11 millimeters thick. And the movement inside them is an ETA 2892-2, highly customized, with patented ROC8 module. They have 10 meters of water resistance, so don't get them too wet. And they retail for around $20,000. But I like the artsiness of them. The next watch we're looking at comes to us from Worn & Wound. And this is a watch by Brew called the Metric Light. And look at that black dial one. That looks amazing. What's interesting about these watches is they are tiny. These watches have 30 millimeter cases on them. Now they are cushion cases, so I feel like they might wear more like a 33 millimeter. So they could be for vintage fans as well as ladies. They might not wear as small as they are on paper. But that black dial one just looks so cool in pictures. There's also a yellow gold variant and one with the pearly dial on it. That one actually looks pretty cool too. Inside them is a Miyota 6T27. They did a great job on the dials of these watches. And they retail for under $400. Next up we have an article from Monochrome Watches. And this is a write-up of the Bremont Supermarine 500 meters in stainless steel. Normally, in most cases, I like clean dials on watches, but I actually like the 3D waves dial that these pieces have. In photographs, it actually looks like waves. And I really like that black bezel insert. That looks really cool on these. The handset and the indices are great. I really like the design of these watches. They are big pieces at 43 millimeters. And they have 500 meters of water resistance. The little pops of color look good, and I absolutely love that bracelet. That is a really cool design. And on a NATO strap, it looks very James Bond, even though it's not. They look amazing in wrist shots. On the bracelet, they retail for 5,200 euros. And on the two different straps that they offer, those retail for 4,900 euros. Inside these watches is the Caliber BB64AH, which is a Sellita base SW300. And the last piece was covered in Hodinkee.com, and this is a Timex Q watch, a mystery dial, which is interesting because they really aren't. I mean, from a distance, they might look like it, but they have hands. And apparently I think the original did as well. However, I really like the look of these watches. I love this design, and at $200, they're kind of tempting. These are the Timex Enigma 1975 mystery dial with a black dial. And of course I love these with that lighter colored minutes track around the edge of the dial. They kind of have a touch of the pull router aesthetic, at least in the dial. I like how all but the tips of the hands kind of vanish in there, so I can kind of see, sort of calling it a mystery dial. And they hide the center post behind a black circle on the crystal, which is acrylic. These watches have a 37 millimeter cushion case on them, and just 42 millimeters lug to lug. They're quartz watches, and like I mentioned, they're super affordable. And they just look really cool. I like them. So there you have it. You are now caught up on watch news. Thanks for watching.